Well, g'day guys, and welcome to another episode. Thanks for joining us on the channel again. Coming to you from a little town called Proston. Now, Proston's probably, I don't know, maybe 150 k's north of Toowoomba, and we've sort of been following the New England Highway as we come up through Queensland on our way up to Yeppoon. Thankfully, we've said goodbye to the rain for now, and yeah, the weather's absolutely beautiful up here. Balmy 23, 24 degrees, exactly the temperature that we've been looking for. But since we said goodbye to Lismore, we've just been doing nice little country towns, towns that are barely on the map, and for us, this is what travelling's all about, coming to these tiny little towns, places that most people have never heard of, and it's a bit off the beaten track. There's a few other travellers getting around, but where we are here at Proston, we're just at a donation camp at the local golf club. It's going to cost us $5. We've got showers, we've got toilets, we've got a nice little fire pit that we can have a fire at. And they've even got wood for us to use, so we didn't even have to bring our own. But getting to these country towns is what it's all about for us. Little places that are off the map. And it also helps these communities to keep going. Poor little Proston here. I mean, honestly, if you blink, you'd pass through it, you wouldn't even see it. And the golf club, I think it maybe opens on a Friday and has dinner for Friday nights, and that's about it. There's a few blokes here playing golf today. It's apparently men's golf day in the afternoon on a Wednesday, but you really feel for these little towns because they do struggle to survive, and it is good that if you can come up through these smaller little places, you get to spend a little bit of money here, get to speak to the locals. And fair income, every town we've been into the pub or into a club, or you know, they've been so friendly with us. Everyone wants to know where you've been, where you're going to, where you're from, and I just love that sort of small town community feeling that you get from places like here in Proston and the other places we've been to so far. When you start planning your loop or your lap or whatever you think you're going to do, don't just stick to those main touristy places. Get out there and see some of these smaller towns. They really appreciate you pulling through. They're super friendly people, and you'll be super surprised at what you actually find out in these areas as well. Some of the places that we stayed at, we just did not expect to find great little national parks, or you know, historical railway tunnels and little waterfalls that you've never heard of. So it's well worth getting off the beaten track a little bit and don't follow that main tourist route if you've got that opportunity. So at this point, we're just going to spend one night here in Proston. Going to get around the campfire tonight. We haven't had the opportunity to do that for a little while, and we're just going to be continuing to slowly make our way up to Yeppoon. We're under no real time constraint, so we'll get up there in the next week or so, and then we'll be slowly coming back down the coast. Well, the day's over. Showered and cleaned for the first time in 4 days, and yeah, time to get this fire cranking. Check out the sunset. Time to have a beer. Cheers, guys. Well, just a nice short drive this morning. We've decided to camp at Boondooma Homestead tonight. Yeah, we're just going to spend one night here. Yesterday we went to Boondooma Dam. This is at the other end of it as we continue north. But yeah, it's a historical homestead, this one. Been here since the 1840s, mid-1840s, and a number of the buildings that we're going to have a look around today, they've been here since the 1850s. So yeah, it's going to be a really interesting place to have a look at. I just love looking at all this sort of old farming machinery. So yeah, I'm going to be in seventh heaven here. And we've just met the caretakers. They're really nice people, and it's only $20 per night. There's a toilet, shower. You can do powered. I think powered sites are about $25 a night, but we've just opted for an unpowered site. plenty of sun here for the solar. So yeah, really looking forward to having a good look around this place this afternoon. So I just read a really interesting story about this wagon behind me. It was used back in 1918 by a family to move up to the area. They just bought a property, and as part of the contract of the sale, they had to have the property occupied and cleared. And to do that, they left their 12-year-old son behind to live on the property and clear the land, while the rest of the family went back down to slowly bring up the rest of the gear. So if you think you had it tough as a kid, think about that for a moment. So the building behind me, this is called the Stone Store, and this is the local store that anyone who worked in the area or worked on the property could use to buy or purchase any goods that they needed. But the really interesting thing about the Stone Store is its name, as it suggests, is made out of stone. It was built by a German guy. It's believed to be the first metric built building in Queensland, and some believe it could be even the first metric built building in all of Australia. But it's not actually a cement-based mortar that holds all the stone together. The German man who built the building, he actually used termite mounds. So somehow he worked out how to get it perfectly constituted to be able to bind and hold all those stones together. And even during the restoration of the building, they've gone to the full length of restoring it in exactly the same way by using termite mounds. Pretty nuts to think that people used to live inside this hut back in the 1940s and 50s. It's crazy. I was just reading about this buzzsaw here, last used in the 1960s, and they used it in a horizontal way to cut down trees, and the last guy who used it was using it horizontally, and he pulled the saw out of the way as the tree began to fell, and he didn't notice a young fella had come too close, and as he swung it around, the saw cut the young bloke's legs off. Far out, man. What a gruesome story, eh? And they stopped using it straight after that because they believed in bad omens back in those days. So unfortunately, due to all the restoration work that's going on the main house, not allowed in, can't see it. They're just replacing the old iron roof. I think the iron roof had been up there since the 1870s, and yeah, they're only just replacing it now, so quite remarkable that it's 150 years old. And I was talking to the guy who's in charge of restoring it. He reckons that underneath the original iron roof were the old shingles, and those shingles hadn't seen the light of day for 150 years, so pretty remarkable. I'm a bit gutted, can't get in to see it, but gives good reason to come back. So tonight we're set up to watch a projector show at the R.M. Williams Country Centre. Happens every single night, 2 shows a night, 6:30 and 7:30. So it's a free show and something a bit different for us to do tonight. Just bring your chairs up, kick back and wait for the show to begin.
Legend with a legacy of bushcraft and the brand he built himself.
The men of the open spaces and the land where the mirage lies.
Yeah, that'll be right, eh?
Yeah. And, you know, Ron's a lucky bloke that he's here today with us.
It was clear that RM always felt the calling of the bush way of life, and the city didn't fit him as naturally as he fitted into the saddle. He said that even when he became a wealthy business owner, he felt out of place.
Well, it's the centre of the Brown Lands. It was the edge of the desert. And although we've been offered some wonderful places, the Hall of Fame for the stockman had to be in the stockman's country, in the Brown country.
Red muster and cattle. Since the day that I turned 5, my granddaddy, he taught me how
Every aspect of Australian bush life has been touched by objects that RM designed, wrote about and campaigned for. We're proud to share and teach these skills here at the RM Williams Australian Bush Learning Centre in Eidsvold. We hope you will come and visit the centre during the day to discover more about the life and work of RM Williams.
Oh, look at her go, people. She's got the knack of
Missed
it.
my calling.
That's it. I'm going to get you to make me a whip. Got to use it to keep you in line a bit more. Well, once again, we've got a bit of silo art. This time we're on the Burnett Highway, just outside of the little country town in Queensland called Monto. Yeah, this one's meant to depict a little bit of folklore surrounding the three moons, but I'm not going to go into it because there's three different stories. We're not sure which one is real, and neither is anyone who's written about it. But yeah, very unique once again. Really like this one. The colours are absolutely stunning. So this morning we're just having a good look around the little town of Monto. Another one of those places that really isn't on the map, but it's just got this wonderful street art that's here, and there's many different pieces that you can get around and have a look at. It's well worth just to stop in to have a look at it. We were never that much into street art, but yeah, since we started doing this trip, like with the silos and coming to places like this, which you wouldn't stop here if stuff like this wasn't here. So hats off to these little communities that create these special little places just to be able to come and see. And there's places like this that are really close-knit communities and have a really good community feel and spirit about them, and we really enjoy visiting these towns. So don't forget they're out there if you're doing your big loop. So the artist got the inspiration for the water tower for some kids that donated their time on a cold winter's morning, and they played underneath a garden hose for them so they could take some images, and those images are what is behind me on the water tower left behind today. So on the way out of Monto heading north, got a few more pieces of artwork to look at. Beautiful on corrugated iron here. But as far as I'm aware, this is about the most northerly point that you'll get surf along the east coast in Queensland.